Hey everybody, it's Eric. Welcome to the MMG. We're talking about a Windrose server today. We've been getting a lot of questions. We showed you how to make your own dedicated server using Steam CMD on a Windows machine, but we didn't go into details about how to set up the settings inside of the server. And so today that is what we are going to do. If you missed the first video, become a member of our channel and watch it. That'll help you get the server set up initially with all the default settings. I show you how to change the name of the server and put a password on and stuff like that. But to actually change the difficulty of the server and the different aspects, you have to go in a little bit deeper. And today that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start you out here. You want to find your Windrose dedicated server folder. You're going to go into the R5 folder next. You're going to go into saved. Oh, by the way, what you need to do is you need to start the server up. So you need to set the basic stuff up with your name and everything and start the server up. And then shut it back down. That way you have a save file to do this, by the way. And then once you do that, and then you follow this path, you're going to go to Save Profiles next. You're going to go to Default, this rocks DB, and then here's the version, and then Worlds, and then here is your world right here. This is also where you'll want to save it if you need to save your world. Right there's the hard copy of it. Or back it up, I suppose. It does back itself up, but yeah, anyways, it saves the world. It doesn't back up. This would be if you want to make another backup of it. All right, and then you come down to the very bottom, or if you're not alphabetical, wherever it at, you're looking for world description.json right here, this file. You're going to open that with Notepad or Notepad++. I always recommend Notepad++. It just makes things a little bit easier to read. All right, now here are your server settings. Now, if you just started out with default, then you are set to medium like we are here. If you've set to easy, then it'll be set to easy in there, or perhaps hard, it'll be set to hard. But you can actually ignore this first setting right here because we're not going to mess with that. The good stuff is on down here below. On our server here, okay, and then here's some other things you can tag. So cooperative quests, you can turn this on or off. Some people don't like it because if you're on the server, you're not actually helping. You can still get credit for things that you're not really doing. And people want to turn that off. Well, this is where you do that at. Easy Explorer. So if you turn this to true, then it's actually turning it off. It's actually worded backwards, but then the question marks won't show up. You have to actually find them. And here's the other things I think people will be interested in. This is the mob health multiplier, the damage, the ships, the boarding, the cooperative ship correction modifiers. All that stuff is right here. This is what you're going to want to look at. Combat difficulty is the other one if you want to change that. So normal is by default. And just so you know, when you edit these settings, you need to put a 0 in front of it if you want it at 0.1. If you just put the 0.1, it actually will look like this, and it means it will not work. So you need to put the 0 in front of it. I was also having a lot of issues making the numbers too low. I don't know what was going on with that. I know 0.5 worked for all of them, but when I did 0.1 for some of them, it didn't work. So just be careful. I don't know what was going on with that. Maybe they cannot be that low. But I know changing these to 0.5 worked on my server. All right, another thing I want to mention here, if you come out to your Windrose dedicated server folder, you'll see we're right here in the base folder. There's a dedicated server.md. If you want to open that with Notepad, it gives you a great description of everything that you can change in the server, what the hardware recommendations are, some easy start options, and then it tells you where to find those server files that I just showed you how to find. So it has settings for both the first config file that you set for the server name and the password, and it has some stuff in there that isn't there by default that you can add in. And then here, if you come down here, you can see the actual JSON replaced the one that we just edited. You could come in here and make some changes too right down. If you keep scrolling down a little bit farther here, there's a list of the world parameters that you can set. And then it kind of shows you some examples, one for medium, one for easy, and then one for hard. And you can kind of mimic those and edit your server. All right, everybody, that is how you can edit your server settings in Windrose to totally customize it. Maybe you're having problems with the boss. Maybe you just don't like how difficult the combat is. You can edit that to your delight. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and have yourself a great day.